respect that, I guess. If I'm getting anything wrong, let me know. In terms of language, just some useful expressions to know. Hajimemashite is nice to meet you. And you want to say that once, not twice. And I say this because we had these girls from Iowa there in Yamanashi, and we had spent the day with these people, and then at the end of the day they said, you know, hajimemashite, and the Japanese woman with them, who was kind of their translator, said, what are you saying? You know, hajime is like beginning, and that's what you say, you know, when you first meet someone. Obviously in English, after meeting someone, we'll say, you know, it was great meeting you. And so they were kind of translating that to say it again, but it's just said right at the beginning when you first meet someone, so just a little tidbit there. This word, this expression is something you will come across all the time. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. It has many meanings. This is a good thing for the end of your self-introduction. And again, I've got cards here, so if you ever want to email me about the language, feel free to. And then the one below it is a more formal way to say it. And you know, Japan is hierarchical, and the language reflects that as well. There are a few ways to say the same verb, whether you're honoring someone, whether you're speaking to someone who's on your level, or whether you're making yourself lower.
Wait, what did that one mean?
So it can mean, this is it's kind of like, you know, yeah, please take care of me, or I thank you in advance. It's just all about saying, you know, I'm down here, you're up here, and please, you know, there's many different meanings. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's basically just a good way of kind of, you know, like if you ask a favor, this is what you would say. You would ask the favor and then say, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. You know? This phrase is golden. Like, yeah. If you have any favors to ask, like you're saying, or like after you give yourself introduction, it basically means like, please do something like for me. Like after you give yourself introduction, it would mean like, please take care of me. Yeah, from now on, but yeah, if you have like a favor to ask, just throw that at the end. You know, please do this for me. It's used a lot. This next one is one of my favorites. Literally meaning, I'm rude. Basically, I'm rude. I mean, you know, it's funny. We in the States, we love ourselves. Oh, I'm really good at this, and I really enjoy this, and you know, I'm just a great person all around. But in Japan, it's all about humility and being humble and lowering yourself as low as you can. So you have a lot of expressions and things that kind of reflect this. So, shitsureishimasu, you know, I'm rude. And when you leave the office in Japan, you always want to leave, you know, the higher up you are, the later you want to stay. And then when you do leave, you would say, osaki ni shitsureishimasu. So osaki means like kind of before you. So I'm leaving before you. I'm so rude. I'm so sorry. I'm never going to be good enough for you. And then the people that you work with who are obviously higher than you would say, otsukare-sama deshita. You're tired. You really worked hard. And these are the literal meanings, okay? But you would never. You would probably never hear this. Well, you might hear this said to you, but this is something that you would say to people that are above you. And then people would probably say to you, "Gokuro-sama deshita." Like, you've worked hard, you little you. You who are not as good as us, you worked hard, as you should have. Now go home. No, I'm just kidding. So those are just a few things. You know, that it's really great. I really hope that you can all get a chance to learn the language. It makes your life so much easier. You'll learn so much more about the culture, and it's just it's a great language. I think it's really quirky. A few other bits of language for when you're eating out. Itadakimasu, you've probably all heard that. Say that before you eat, especially if someone's taking you out to eat. You want to say that before you eat. When you finish, gochisousama deshita. You could also say this, you know, if you go out to eat. I usually say this when I leave a restaurant, like especially if I go out for sushi. I even sometimes do it bolder, just because I'm fun like that. You could say that to the sushi chef, you know, before you leave. Thanks for your efforts. Okay, here's a big thing, you guys. We are all about, in America, creating our own menu items when we go out to eat, which I think is hilarious. So, you know, I'll have the chicken salad, but I don't really want the chicken. I want tofu instead. And could you grill that, not fry it? And yeah, I'll take that dressing, but I'll have it on the side, but only like half a cup. And you know, I mean, we just like take something and we just totally. I don't even know why. Why did you order that? Like that's not what we want. Okay. We love that here. My husband's English and he just cracks up. So we don't. They don't. You know. Again, in Japan, it's kind of all about. You know. This is it. Like, this is what's on the menu, and this is what you're going to get. So just be prepared for that before you go crazy on the dressing on the side and the mixing it up with the teishoku. Like, the teishoku is the teishoku, okay? The set menu is the set menu, so just bear that in mind. It's kind of, you know, it'll throw the people off guard. Sharing, I will never forget when I was in high school, we went to Hard Rock. We were so excited because it was 10 days. It was a long time to go without American food. So we went to Hard Rock, and our friends were all like, okay, so let's all just get some food and share it. I was like, well, I don't want to share. I want my own food. So, you know, sharing is a big thing, especially when you go out for parties with your colleagues. Sometimes you go, there's restaurants called izakaya, and you go and you get a bunch of different dishes and you all share. So it goes back to personal space. Again, it's, you know, it's your group. You get together and you share food, and you tend to, especially in those situations, you don't really have your own main course.
You'll share food that you didn't think was shareable too.
Right.
Like a hamburger, oh, that can be shared.
Oh yeah, we'll totally share that hamburger, which is like the size of a quarter of a hamburger here. Okay, tipping, you know, it's not really done. I always felt really awkward, you know, getting out of taxis and getting my hair cut, but you get used to it. And then you move back here and you realize that it's just crazy. In fact, I remember the first time I came to a restaurant here with my friend, we left. You know, got to leave and pay. Do you like what about the tip? Oh, it's not my fault. She makes $3 an hour. What can I do? Okay. Home life, meeting the neighbors. So when you get there, try and meet your neighbors. Try and meet as many locals as you can. You know, stop by, get a little omiyage, nothing too big, and just stop by, introduce yourself, give yourself introduction. And just know that when it comes to gift giving, you know, we're so blasé about it here. We just, hey, I got you something, thanks, enjoy that. I had somebody at a party the other day say, hey, here, I got this for you, it's really cool. Are you kidding me? That's great. So when you give a gift, you know that presentation is important, and it's also important how you give it. So what I did before I went was I got a lot of gift bags and some tissue paper, because they're easy to pack. And then before I gave them to the person, I could make it look all pretty and it wasn't crumpled or anything like that. So that's presenting, and when you receive it, yep.